Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering, to those with a history of raising their performance to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Justin Timberlake.
I'm bringing sexy back.
The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now.
So if I get jealous, I can't help it.
For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
Scottie Pippen Jr. so clearly should have been the MVP. Led the Memphis Grizzlies to a 5-0 record going into the championship game. Led the Memphis Grizzlies to the championship game. Was first team all Summer League. What was Jalen Wilson? Second team. What are we doing here? Snubbed. Capital S-N-U-B. Snubbed.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right, I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish. I'm speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough studio, FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope you weren't planning on going out to TPC Southwind today to watch some practice rounds or planning on doing anything outside. It's yucky. Look at that, Bennett.
It's gross out there.
It's gross out there. It's yucky outside. It's not the best Wednesday I've ever seen, but, we'll get through it. We've managed worse Wednesdays, haven't we? Mm-hmm. We've gotten through worse Wednesdays. We'll get through it. FedEx St. Jude Championship is scheduled to start tomorrow, first round, as long as we get this rain out of the way. I think we're going to. I don't mean to do a Jim Jaggers impersonation, but I think we're going to get the rain out of the way. We'll talk golf momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. The next segment, about 20 minutes, Mike Wallace is going to join me. He'll be here in studio, so we'll chop it up with him. Senior editor, Grind City Media. Mike Wallace is going to be in studio in about 20 minutes. When I finish that, take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we're going to discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, UFC president Dana White said last night that Conor McGregor will not fight again until at least 2025. Conor McGregor countered by saying he wants to fight in December. Let him headline things in December. War of words between two MMA powers. I'll get Bennett's thoughts on this situation. We're going to do that in about 40 minutes. Juan Soto, the 5th sexiest professional sportsman in the United States, according to boohooman.com, had a huge night last night. 3 bombs for the Yankee star. We'll highlight him. We'll do it in just a bit. There's a new TikTok trend that's going viral. You might have seen it. And it's also sending children to the hospital with severe burns. Got to be careful with these TikTok trends, you know? They're not all as safe as the Big Bank Challenge. You remember the Big Bank Challenge?
No.
Oh, man,
I remember the milk crate challenge.
What was that?
Remember when people were climbing up the milk crates?
I missed that one. I must have been focused on the Big Bank Challenge.
You don't remember the milk crate challenge?
I must have been focused on the Big Bank Challenge.
Phenomenon.
The Big Bank Challenge was a phenomenon.
Okay.
Google that one.
Dude, I would put the milk crate challenge up against the Big Bang challenge.
Okay, I tell you what.
Yeah.
In the next commercial break, you give me your best milk crate challenge.
I got you.
I'll send you my best Big Bang challenge, and we'll see who's better.
Fair enough.
I'll bet on me. I'll tell you what's going on with these severe burns. We'll do that in the third segment. Jim Harbaugh, he says he's no longer going to serve as Michigan's honorary captain for the season opener. I'll give you his explanation. We'll do that a little later on in the show. And Rhythm Masters, a Mickey Hart experience, set to debut tonight on ESPN. Should be a fun night for sports fans who double as Deadheads. I'll tell you more about it during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's carry out and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to, but I did want to start with the FedEx St. Jude Championship because by the time we talk again tomorrow, weather permitting, the FESJC should be underway. Big Bet Bennett, I saw in the chat yesterday, I peek at it every once in a while.
Yep.
I don't get consumed with it because I'm trying to stay focused on what I'm doing, but I peek at it every once in a while. I see some stuff in there sometimes. And I saw you said that you might only, this is what you put in the chat yesterday.
Yes.
Unless somebody has stolen your login, this is what you put in the chat yesterday. You said you might only watch golf 5 or 6 times a year, but that you love, that's a quote, that's a direct quote, love this tournament. Expand on that. Why?
Well, I mean, obviously, I love it because it's in my city that I love.
I know that.
So that's.
But there's a lot of things in the city that you love.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't love them all.
No, but like seeing the best golfers in the world come, and it hasn't always been that way. So that's why I love it so much now, because it's become this just massive golf event where the best players in the world, for the most part, come here and play in Memphis. So I love that. Also, I don't think, like, every time I've ever been out there, again, like, I'm a casual golf fan. Like, I watch all the majors, but I'm not a diehard. So when I go out there, I'm not, like, following someone around.
You respect Colin Morikawa, but you don't have a poster on your wall.
I actually really like Colin Morikawa.
I know you do.
You know, I'm a big fan of his.
I know.
He's helped me out quite a bit over the years.
You respect Colin Morikawa, but you're not the type that's going to have a poster on the wall.
Exactly. But just going out there, like, just the event itself is awesome.
It is awesome.
It's just fun being out there. Even if you're not a big golf fan, there's so much to do. Like, especially if you got kids, like, they got stuff for the kids. There's great food. Like, there's all kinds of people out there. Your friends are out there. It's just a good event to gather.
I tell this to people all the time. Like, you don't have to enjoy golf to enjoy the golf tournament. Do you enjoy food?
Yeah.
Do you enjoy drinking?
Yes.
Do you enjoy, like, looking at pretty people?
Yes.
Then that's the place to be. Because you know what they have out there?
All of that.
In addition to golf, you know, you're going to get your Roy McIlroys and your Scotty Schefflers and your Jordan Spieths and your Max Homas. But in addition to that, you're going to get food, drinks, and pretty people.
Yes.
Often in sundresses. You like sundresses? How you feel about them?
I feel great about them.
Everybody does.
Big fan.
You know where you can see a lot of sundresses over the next 4 days?
Well, maybe. I mean,
We gotta get rid of this
pitch
weather.
black outside right now.
I don't like this weather.
Yeah.
I tell you what. I mean, it's
I think we'll be all right.
It's good if you want to take a nap.
Yeah.
But it ain't great if you want to play golf.
I think we'll be okay.
If this was a scheduled nap day for you, this is perfect. If you were planning, if you wore golf shoes to work, you're gonna have to take them off.
That's right.
It's messy out there, and it's great for children, like you mentioned.
Yep.
In part because, do you realize this? Do you know this? Children 15 and under get in free with a ticketed adult.
Oh, I will probably be taking advantage of that.
There you go, right?
Yeah.
So, like, let's say you got a family
I'm
of
always
4.
looking for free shit.
Let's say, okay. So let's say you got a nice family of 4. You got a family of 4, Bennett.
I do have a family of 4.
So, if you and your beautiful wife each have a ticket,
Yep.
you can take your children to the golf tournament to TPC's house. We'll walk around, get you a drink,
Yep.
get you food, and just look at stuff.
I'm excited.
No, kids, and once you're in there, this is another thing worth stressing. Once you're in there, if you're a hustler, you can get what amounts to a front row seat. For instance, if you're going to go to a Grizzlies game, and you should, all of them. You should go to all of them. But if you're going to go to a Grizzlies game, if you want to, sit close enough to where you can say, "Hey, Ja, what's up?" and he'll hear you and maybe look at you. You gotta,
You gotta drop some money for that.
You gotta pay for those seats, and those seats aren't cheap. Same things with Tiger basketball. If you can remember who, if you ever figure out who any of the players are, then and you learn their names, then you could yell their names and get them to look back at you and say, "What's up?" But you got to be close to do that, right? You can't do that from the upper deck, right? You can't just buy any ticket and go talk to John Morant or Penny Hardaway.
Right.
But you can buy just, the normal general admission ticket. And if you're a hustler, you can get right up on the ropes and you have what amounts to a front row seat to the golf tournament. And suddenly, these incredible sports figures, whether you're a golf fan or not, you're probably aware of Rory McIlroy and Jordan Spieth and Olympic gold medalist Scottie Scheffler. They'll be as close to you as you are to me right now, if not closer. Like, I always take the kids out there, and they like to, stand on the ropes. And, when somebody's walking, say, from number 8 to number 9, you put their hand out there, and, Jordan Spieth might give you a high five, or Matt Fitzpatrick might toss you a ball, or somebody might stop and sign an autograph. And so you get these real interactions that resonate with kids. I tell you stories like this all the time. My kids feel like they know G.G. Jackson right now. They feel like they know him because they met him, and he said some nice things to them, and he took a picture with them. And so if you ask them who is their favorite Grizzly, yeah, they'll still say John Morant, but they'll get to Gigi pretty quickly because they have a picture of themselves with him. My kids last year got a high five from Jordan Spieth. So, when we're watching golf on the weekends and they see Jordan Spieth, they feel like, I don't know that they feel like they know him, but they have a memory connected to him. That kind of stuff matters. For sure. That's what childhoods are built on.
That's right.
And so it's a wonderful family event and a wonderful event if you've got kids to take them out there, and it's not that expensive. In fact, like I said, kids 15 and under get in free as long as you've got a ticketed adult accompanying them. You want some betting odds? You're going to wager on this, I imagine. You're not going to let this slip by without you putting some big bet money on it.
For sure. Now, one thing that last year it was who won last year? I can't even remember the guy's name. I remember what happened, but I can't remember who was the guy that won.
Lucas Glover?
Yeah.
He won 2 tournaments in a row. He never wins.
Yeah.
Then he wins 2 tournaments in a row.
So this one's weird.
And now he never wins again.
Yeah, this one's weird. Weird things happen at this tournament with the golfers.
Well, unsurprisingly, the favorite is Scottie Scheffler.
Of course.
Right. He's the number 1 ranked golfer in the world. He is a reigning Olympic gold medalist. He's a 2-time Masters winner. He is sitting as the favorite at plus 360. Xander Schauffele, second best odds at plus 750. Rory McIlroy, plus 900. Then you get Colin Morikawa at plus 1,400. Among some other notable names, Hideki Matsuyama, plus 3,000. He was in a playoff here a few years ago.
Yep.
Tony Finau, plus 3,500. Victor Hovland, plus 3,500. Jordan Spieth, plus 5,500. Max Homa, plus 7,500. Will Zalatoris, former champion.
Yeah.
Is sitting there at plus 9,000. Tim Buckley had an interesting column on Victor Hovland, dailymemphian.com, that posted yesterday. Did you see this by chance?
I did not.
It was really good. Like, maybe I'm just gullible or a mark. Maybe I'm, label me however you want. I like it when people not from here come here and say nice things about this place or our downtown or our restaurants or our golf courses. And Tim Buckley had a nice column, dailymemphian.com, talking to Victor Hovland, and he just said he loves TPC Southwind. In fact, let me give you the quote. He said, Victor Hovland said, "Everything is right there in front of you. And this is my 5th time here, and I absolutely love the golf course. I think this is one of my favorite courses that we play all year." And he went on to expand on that thought, and it's something that Vernon and I were, I think, mentioned in passing yesterday. If you don't play golf, or you don't spend much time on golf courses, this might all sound like a foreign language to you, but there are certain golf courses, you get on them, and now there's so many apps and stuff, like you can have a pretty good idea of what you're looking at just by looking at your phone, if you've got the right apps and all of that stuff. But sometimes you're standing on a tee box at a golf course, and it's like, I don't know where this is going. I don't know where I'm supposed to be. I don't know where to put this. At TPC Southwind, you don't run into that really at all. You can see everything. Everything's right in front of you. And yet there's these little subtle things that make it one of the toughest TPC courses in the country. And Hovland touched on this. He said, "You have certain angles, a lot of branches and trees that are just in the way to make everything more tricky, and I just think it's a genius golf course." I play out there all the time, and when you take people out there, Usually, just a normal golf course, like you just go play the normal golf course around this city or any other city. It's like if you're in the fairway, you're thrilled. At TPC Southwind, you have to be on the proper side of the fairway if you're going to have a clean approach shot. Like there are certain holes out there where it's not enough to just be in the fairway, because if you're on the right side of the fairway, you've got this tree that's going to be bothering you on an approach shot. And Hovland went on to expand on number 18 specifically. That's a pretty famous hole out there. I guess the two most famous holes at TPC Southwind would be the par 3 11th with the island green, and then number 18, which is the par 4 finishing hole. It's about 450 yards. And as Hovland pointed out, and this is the type of little stuff that can make a golf hole that doesn't seem too difficult on a surface level more challenging than you might realize. Yep. As Hovland points out, I think most people who watch the golf tournament all understand 18 is like basically an L almost. Is down here, water coming all the way up the fairway, and then you got to go back left to reach the 18th green. Well, if you're a long hitter, you're going to cut off a lot of that water. But as Hovland points out, he loves to hit his driver. He's aggressive. But on 18, he's got a real problem. Because if he hits his driver where he should hit his driver, like just far enough to where he can cut off as much water as he can, but not too far left so that he's not getting too risky with it. If he tries to place the ball there and hit driver, there's 3 bunkers out there on the other side of that fairway, and he probably goes into the last one. If he aims where he should be aiming and hits the ball the way he should hit the ball, he's at risk of going into that bunker. So now he's got to make a decision. Yep. Do you take 3 wood out and not cut off as much water, but place it into the fairway where you're not at risk of going in this bunker? Or do you keep your driver in your hand and try to cut off a little bit more so that you are left of the last bunker? The problem with that, as he explains, is if you don't hit it perfectly, if you're off the toe a little bit, he said, I can't carry that. Rory McIlroy can carry that. He can just cut it all off and have a little gap wedge into the green. He didn't have these same concerns that I have. But with my driver, if I hit it perfectly where I'm supposed to hit it, it's going in that bunker. So now I've got to do something I don't want to do on the finishing hole at TPC Southwind. He said, that makes it challenging for me. I love it because he loves that type of stuff, but that's the type of stuff that makes this challenging. In addition to just the layout, I don't know if people realize this, 11th narrowest fairways on tour is at TPC Southwind, and the 3rd smallest greens. Fairways are narrow, greens are small. It's a difficult course, and it sets up well for some guys. And as Hovland says, it's probably not a coincidence that he's never really played well here. He wants to play well here, obviously. He accepts the challenge, but the golf course doesn't set up perfectly for him, particularly that 18th hole. Just on a side note, have you ever heard about Michael Jordan's golf course that he designed and built, and he's there every day? I've never been there. I don't know what it looks like, but there's a theory that he designed it specifically for him. In other words, let's say Michael Jordan carries a drive 250 off the tee. Like that's a normal drive for him. He's going to carry it 250. Well, on there, like a typical par 4 at his golf course, he'll have bunkers at like 240 and then more bunkers at like 270. So he should, if he hits a good drive, be right in between those bunkers. But if you're a shorter hitter, you got bunker problems. If you're a longer hitter, you've got bunker problems. But if you're Michael Jordan, the bunkers shouldn't be an issue because he's placed them in places where they shouldn't be an issue for him. And that's how he wins. That's what I'm going to do if I ever become one of the greatest basketball players of all time. I'm going to build a golf course that's suited for me.
Nice.
There'd be no water and no rough and the longest and widest fairways ever and the biggest greens. Slow, please. Mike Wallace is going to join me next. He'll be in studio in about a few minutes.
We have 2 pairs of shoes that literally are not released to the public right now, and we're going to give you a live look.
First look in hand of the Armor Year 3.
Look at that leather.
Leather is super nice on this here. I actually tried to cheat this into my top 10 so far, but Kelsey said I could. These have yet to be seen. These are the Armor Year 4s. These are called Phantom. I'm sorry, these are called Phantom.
The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball.
but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board. A class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Hey Grizzlies fans, after exciting hoops and a lucky night of gaming, where do you rest your head? Look no further than Southland Casino Hotel, proud sponsor of the Memphis Grizzlies. Our high-rise hotel is the epitome of luxury and comfort. Picture this, you've just finished an evening of gaming and dining, so you head on over to one of our 300 rooms to end the night. Choose from standard suite and presidential suite, plus we're pet-friendly and offer mobility scooters for rent. It's a seamless experience for everyone. And don't miss the Main Street Exchange, right in the heart of our casino lobby. Whether you're craving a snack or need a souvenir of your stay, we've got you covered. From polo shirts to shot glasses, take a piece of the Southland excitement home with you. So come stay and play at Southland Casino Hotel, where every moment is designed for your enjoyment. Book your hotel stay by calling 833-703-3350 or visit online at southlandcasinohotel.com/hotel.
Guests must be 21 years of age or older to check in at hotel. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
GG gonna be just fine, bro. Like he probably, like Josh probably number one, and he's probably number two most talented teammates I've ever had.
Just raw talent.
Like,
wow.
bro, like
just go to the gym, hoop type talent.
Like you walk in the gym and he might be doing a workout, and you're gonna look over and be like, damn.
The Chris Vernon Show, live weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Looking at the college football playoff and the odds to make the college football playoff, this is the top 13 teams. 7 of these 13 are out of the SEC.
I think that first year in the SEC is going to be different. Like I do. I just think it's going to be different.
The Odds Couple with Rob Fisher, Lang Whitaker, John Roser, and CJ Hurt, live Thursdays at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South on a rainy and yucky Wednesday morning. FedEx St. Jude Championship still scheduled to get underway tomorrow, 7:30 in the morning. That's when former champ Will Zalatoris is going to go off. He's the first big name scheduled to be out on the course. Justin Thomas, 9:05. Roy McIlroy, 9:45. The number one golfer in the world, Scotty Scheffler, he is playing with Xander Schauffele. They're going to go off at 12:45. Jordan Spieth at 1:05. Mike Wallace, senior editor, Grind City Media, joins me Wednesdays in the second segment. He's here right now. Mike Wallace, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
How often do you enjoy the golf tournament? I know you've been out there before, but I also believe you wouldn't call yourself a golf fan.
Oh no, I'm not a golfer. Like I said, we were saying before the break or during the break, I played golf 3 times in my life.
Right.
Best I ever shot was 98.
Okay.
And then I'll take it. But get me on the putt green.
Okay.
I'm a beast. It's like playing basketball on an 8-foot rim.
Yeah.
Like, I can beast on that.
Well, we were talking in the break, and you were like, you're interested in golf, but you just don't know how you can find the time.
Yeah.
And here'd be my advice to you: if you've reached this point in your life without
golf,
skip it. Just
go ahead and keep going.
Keep your free time, because what happens is if you get, I don't even want to say you have to get good at it, because I'm not good at it, but like if you just enjoy it, if you get it where it's like, man, this is what I like to do. It is all you want to do. And you start creating windows of time that aren't really there for you, but you'll start creating windows of time where you're like, yeah, I guess I'm going to go to the golf, and it's. By the time you factor in driving to the course, warming up, then playing 18 holes, get back in the car, driving back home, it's 5.5 hours. It's like you go to work to play, to spend money to do something you're not even very good at. It's kind of a ridiculous notion.
That makes sense. So, with me having a 12-year-old, so calculate that out for 6 more years before she graduates, then I'll be an empty nester finally.
Yes.
6 more years, can I wait? I might dabble around in it by then. Yeah.
Well, that is the great thing about it is you can, and among the reasons I think so many men get into it.
Yeah.
We grow up competing. We grow up competing in baseball and basketball and football and whatever else we play, and then we reach a point where we can't compete anymore. Like you ain't gonna see a couple of people my age out playing pickup basketball in the street. I mean, you might, but it ain't common.
Right.
We're obviously not playing football. you know, I tried to play soccer. That I got tired real quick. But this is something that you can do.
It's manageable.
You can do it until you die. You know, as long as you don't have physical limitations that prevent you from doing it.
Yeah.
So it's something you can grow old with. And to me, there's nothing more enjoyable than having 4 friends who are comparable golfers out there competing and talking and just having a good time. That's the most fun afternoon I have.
And that's why it's still, I haven't given up on it yet.
Right.
Because one of the things that eats at me is that every time we're on a Grizzlies road trip, and Brevin Knight has his golf clubs with him. And Pete Pranica, they're planning which course around a beautiful city that they're going to play at. And you know Brevin, he can get in on any course.
Oh, yes.
Just because of his Stanford connections, his NBA ties, and just him being a great guy, man. So they're going to all of these great courses, having these buddy sessions, and I'm just like left out, man.
Right.
So I'm like, man, I'll drive the cart around for you.
There you go.
I'll caddy for one of you. So now I got to actually, he said, man, nah, let's work on this. Let's get you at least able to follow us on the course, man.
Well, like there is something to be said for just being out there, whether you're playing or not. Like my wife, we were in you always start telling stories and they sound like we were in Monaco, but we were, and she was like,
First world problems. That's a segment in the show now. Right?
She was like, I'll just go to the course with you and I'll just drive the cart. And so, you get her a handful of Trulies and let her drive the cart, and she just sort of enjoys the trees and the mountains and the water down there.
Absolutely.
And it's kind of just beautiful, like being outside.
Yeah. For me, it will be a workout because I used to talk to those guys all the time. I'm just going to walk the course or, just be out there and try to get some physical conditioning in there and carry the bags or something, right? And I'm fine with doing that.
Right.
So I might get to it at some point. I haven't given up on it yet. I won't give up on it just yet. Talk to me in 2 years and we'll see.
Yeah, no, it is also one of those things you can get into whenever. Like you could reasonably start playing golf pretty late in life and how about this? I have a friend who's my age, started playing 2 years ago, is already as good as I am.
Dang.
And it's just, which speaks to my level of talent. It's probably an indictment of me, but like he picked it up late and he can have a good time out on the course. Just like the rest of us.
But I'll be out there Sunday.
Okay.
Looking forward to being
I'm
out there on
I'm going out
Day.
there Sunday. We got a close friend who's got a nice home out there right on
a couple of them.
And we got a couple of them. And but he rented it this year, so we're not having a party like we had a party last year. But it's still he rented the house.
That's all right. He made a little money.
Oh yeah, I know.
Made a little transaction.
That's always a good time. But just I remember because I don't get out much anymore. I used to be out more. Seeing people and doing things. And now if I don't see you at my kid's baseball game, the golf course, or the airport, I'm probably not going to see you. Right. Maybe the car rider line at school, right? But there's only a handful of here. There's like 5 places I go. My house, the airport, the golf course, my kid's school, my kid's baseball.
Yeah.
That's
about it.
That's it. That's the only things I do.
Yeah.
And so I just had this moment. I have it every time. I'm out at the golf course and I'm walking around for the tournament. And I just see people I haven't seen in a while. It's great to you're going to bump into somebody you haven't seen in a while, and you're going to smile when you see them, and it's going to be a pleasant interaction, and I look forward to that.
No, I do too, man. It's one of those events where it's a must-be-there or can't-miss event for this city. That tournament means everything. There are probably 4 or 5, a handful of events that I try to get to around the city every single year.
Right.
The golf tournament is one. Southern Heritage Classic is another one. Memphis's biggest home game is one. The St. Jude Marathon and 5K, that's another one. MLK Day over at the Civil Rights Museum. So it's a handful of 5 to 10 events, and this is definitely one of the top 3 that you got to get to.
Talking to Mike Wallace here in studio, turning our attention to basketball.
Yeah.
We've got a handful of games that have already been announced, but I believe the schedule is released tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And I know people get excited for that, particularly if you're a season ticket holder, somebody who divides up tickets with other families, because then you can start circling where you want to go.
You start your draft.
I just figured they're going to play 82 games, 41 away, 41 at home. It doesn't have much impact on my life, actually. But still, it's a big day. People get excited for that. At some point tomorrow, if you're a Grizzlies fan, you'll be able to say, this is when LeBron's coming, this is when KD's coming, this is when Steph's coming, this is when Wemby's coming. That's a fun day.
It is. And the ones that you circle, I'll have a piece up, when the schedule drops, my 5 can't miss games, right? And every year I pick out 5 that, if you're a Grizzlies fan, you're going to get to as many as you can.
Sure.
But here are 5 that I believe you cannot miss. And it starts with, obviously the MLK Day celebration game is always one that's impactful and meaningful to me. And then you got to look at first game against the defending champs. Boston Celtics is one that's going to be on there as well. A LeBron game. Right. You can't take those for granted. He only has a couple more left in him, visits to Memphis, and you want to make sure that you get to those as much as you can. And then, you just figure out, okay, where the schedule falls, where are you in the holiday seasons, and how does that line up? So, when the Grizzlies played on Christmas Day a couple years ago, that was obviously a big one. Can they find a way to get back to a Christmas Day game in the next couple seasons? That's my hope as well, too.
Right. Though Christmas Day games have already been announced, 10 teams, 5 games. Grizzlies not on there. Oklahoma City not on there either. We talked about it last week. Bennett was like, nobody wants to watch Oklahoma City. And I was like, perhaps that's true. Small market, all that. But they do have a, first-team All-NBA guy in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and they did get the 1 seed in the West last year.
They did, yeah.
If what happened to Oklahoma City happened to Memphis after Ja was first-team All-NBA and Memphis finished first in the West, we would be upset about that. So I would understand why OKC fans would be upset.
And add another caveat to that, too. And if Ja was second in MVP vote.
There you go, right.
Like all of those things. But, again, it's Oklahoma City. That's just not a team that America demands to see. Ja is a player that America or a large, group of American basketball players wants to see.
Sure.
He missed the first 25 games, and he absolutely captivated the NBA when he came back for those games against New Orleans. And you were like, wow. Like, he wowed the entire NBA. He had other star players tweeting about his finish in that game. So, I don't know how much Shai Gilgeous-Alexander resonates like that from that standpoint, but that's no knock on Oklahoma City.
Do you think people have forgotten everything that Ja was before an off-the-court incident and the injury, and even have forgotten what he was in those 9 games last season? Because in the spirit of creating content, after the Olympics are done, folks start speculating about who will be there in 2028. And I know some people have placed Ja on a projected roster, but I think most don't. And there are some places where they don't even mention him as a possibility. And I talked about this a little bit yesterday with Bennett. I think any conversation about Ja and Team USA in August 2024 is premature, because you got to tell me where he's at in 2027 and what has happened between then and now. But I believe this: if he is free of negative headlines, not even if he plays at a new level, if he just is playing at the level he has played at already and is free of negative headlines and he wants to do it, I think he'll do it. I think he'll be there.
Yeah, I mean, all of those things have to line up. But that's something about Ja that up until this point, they all haven't all lined up, right? He has to have the perfect storm of great PR, which means keeping your head out of trouble, stay healthy, and then just play up to, like, the part that's easiest for Ja is showing up when healthy and playing basketball.
Yes.
All of the other elements he has to have a great control of, right? I don't think anybody outside, it's growing, right? So the test that I have here is how many people in, maybe Denver, Colorado, or St. Louis, Missouri, or any of these other places are talking about the NBA, and how many times does Ja's name come up? I'm not sure if he's that yet again. He's got to get back to that. I think he was that. But so many other guys, like Wemby, he's talked about in every city in the country now. Anthony Edwards, because of his run the last couple of years, is there. Ja, once he reminds you, okay, this is who I was and this is who I am, then I think those eyes are going to reopen to him being one of the top 12 players in the league again, and I don't think it's going to be a question about that.
I don't either, because the thing that I think sometimes people forget is that even with the off-the-court stuff that created issues, the basketball, the stuff we saw was never a problem. He was consistently awesome, even while he was maybe not walking as straight of a line outside of the arena as you would like him to. In other words, yes, there were things that needed to be cleaned up, obviously, but the basketball was still always, for the most part, excellent.
It was, and it will be.
Right.
It will be. I do think, and see, this is the thing about Ja that I think a lot of people nationally have lost sight of. He is a very charismatic guy when he's not rubbed the wrong way by something that, when social media doesn't get in his way. Like, I remember him coming into the league, and I remember the joy that he played with and how much he loves his teammates. And so, now he's become a scowl guy. Like, he's scowling all the time, when before he was always smiling.
You know who else that's happened to?
Who's that?
And it's coming back around now. KD.
You know what? As you were setting up, I was like, you know what? You're probably going to go to KD.
He went through that.
Yeah, and I think Ja has to understand that he's not a victim.
Right.
Like, this is in your hands now. And I think he's starting to understand that. He's 25, 20, he just celebrated a birthday. He's getting to that point in his career now where he has the $200 million contract. He's going to have a $300 million one coming in a few more years. He has the attention of the league when he's healthy. And if he wants to be truly great, it's up to him. Greatness is not there just for everybody, right? Certain guys, like the story that keeps coming to mind is Steve Francis. Right. Steve Francis had all of the talent to be one of the greatest players in the league. He just didn't have the temperament and the mindset and some of the other demons that followed him. Ja has to be able to he's at a crossroads in his career right now where he can get back to being that next in line behind Steph Curry and all of those guys that are passing the torch. He just has to make sure that he stays healthy. He keeps his head on the right place because the game is going to take care of itself.
And I like that you mentioned the difference in, at one point it was smiles all the time, and then there has been less of that in recent years. And I recognize the same thing with Kevin Durant, and I think it's tied to a very similar thing. Those guys they spend the early part of their professional careers, everybody loves them, their own fans and everybody else's fans.
Yeah.
For Kevin, it was you're winning an MVP in a small market.
Yep.
Your mom's the real MVP. You're crying. I mean, everybody loves you.
Yeah.
For Josh, he's everybody's favorite player. I had an agent a few years ago tell me before things went a little sideways. An agent told me when they bring in college players and they're recruiting them and they're meeting with them, and it's like, so you got a favorite NBA team? Like, if you could play anywhere, would you like to play? And they get to it. So who's your favorite player? He said more often than any other name when they would ask college players, who's your favorite player in the NBA? It wasn't LeBron, Kevin, Steph. It was Ja Morant. That's what young people were saying. So that's who he was. And then things go sideways. For Kevin, it was mostly tied to leaving Oklahoma City and going, and then now you're being criticized in a way that you've never had. It's never happened. For Ja, it was the off the court stuff, and now you're a meme. And I can't. I don't have anything to compare that to because they operate in such a different world than I operate. But that makes sense to me how you would go from big smiles, everybody loves me, this feels good, to then every time you look at your phone, it feels like people hate you, and that can undeniably impact your mood.
It definitely, and it's a mental health issue too, for these athletes who all of a sudden both come, like Ja didn't come from impoverishment. Like, he came from a two-family household. Right? They were pretty stable. Kevin Durant came from a single mom, working class situation, but then they got everything that the NBA brings to you. And sometimes you want fame until you get fame, and you realize that fame comes with a cost. Fame comes with a level of accountability and visibility that you're not, accustomed to, and you can't manage the people around you, right? That's the issue a lot of times. That how can I manage these people who are around me who are coming into fame as well too? So those are problems. Another name that came up, like I was around him. I remember, like, Dwight Howard was just a happy-go-lucky dude in Orlando. He was Mickey Mouse's best friend. Until he started talking about, I want to go to Brooklyn. And then he got the backlash and Kevin Durant. So some of those things happen, man. Ja is so young where I think he hit, I don't want to say rock bottom, but he hit the bottom pretty early in his career, and he has a chance to bounce up. And now he still has his entire career ahead of him.
Right. And there was something, I don't know if he still does it on every tweet or every post, but I've seen other people do it. And I know Ja's done it in places where you limit who can actually respond to it. So like Ja Morant might tweet something, and if you wanted to make your joke, unless he follows you, you can't. And I know some people like look at that and they're like, that's what. I used to take, not pride, that's a dumb word, but like I would not block people on Twitter.
I still don't. I've never blocked anyone.
I blocked 1 million. I used to be like, I'm not going to let people bother me, and like I'm not going to give them the satisfaction of blocking them and letting them know they bother me. And now I'm like, in the spirit of just mental health, I'm not obligated to let somebody harass me.
Right.
Like if you came to my front door every day, and was harassing me, I would eventually call the cops and try to get a restraining order. Well, I don't have to do that with this. I can just hit block, and now I don't mind anybody being critical or anybody questioning something, or that's all fair game. I offer opinions for public consumption. I'm not always right. It's reasonable for anybody to point that out. But if you're just there as a constant harassment, boom, I'm done with you. I don't have to. And I understand why professional athletes would do something similar, because sometimes just not seeing the stuff is helpful.
And you got to have the awareness to know when to look away from it too, right? But see, sometimes we have those rabbit ears and we get sensitive to every single thing, because I'm sure you get this a lot more. Being on the national stage still and all those kind of things, you can get 100 comments that are supportive of your work, right? But the two knuckleheads that have to say something,
those will be the ones you remember,
right? And for me, I feel like I've never blocked anyone, and I can give you a real quick example. Bennett might remember this. Last year, going into the season, I posted a critical comment, or what was perceived as critical, because of my knowledge and my people I know and still some sources, that the Heat front office is getting tired of Jimmy Butler's stuff. Right. They really are. This showing up with the hair pressed and the nose rings and all of this kind of stuff being a spectacle, that's not the Heat way. Right. And I know when he's winning and he's healthy and he's there, they'll tolerate it. Right. But this is wearing thin on the Heat.
Sure.
And because I put that out, I think it was a clip. I was on Jessica Benson's show. It went out, it went viral, it got back to Miami, and then it just blew up. Right. And for 3 straight weeks, everybody replied, and it was GCM's, Grind City Media's Twitter that got caught up in the crossfire. And I never responded back to it. As it played out, what happened at the end of the season? Pat Riley was like, look, he's got to get, it's time.
Nobody would argue with you now.
That's what I'm saying. So it's certain things, you put yourself out there and you're going to get the backlash. And, I'm just not a guy, I've never blocked anyone from that standpoint. It's not like I'm standing on a soapbox. But I just all right, man, it's social media. Right. If you're not going to come up to me if I'm walking out in the street and say something.
That's the thing. They never will.
They never will. Right,
but on social media, they will. So I reached a point
at
some point where I'm like, why? If you tweet at me so often that I can recognize you and it's always the same nonsense, I just would rather never see you again.
That's true.
And
that
it is
sense.
Wild.
But they can if they're that much of a loser, they can recreate another.
Oh, they will.
And
I'll block that one too. I'll block them all.
So then you're playing ping pong.
Yes. I went through this past season with a very specific thing, and it was I'd block somebody, they'd create a new account. I'm back. You can't block me forever. I'll block you again. That's how I was spending hours of my day, just blocking people.
So between blocking people and golf,
that's all I do. That's all I do.
That's
all I block people, I play golf, and I sleep. Do this. This is all I do. This is all I do. This is not enough hours. Not enough hours in the day. That's Mike Wallace, senior editor, Grind City Media. He's on Twitter/X at my Mike Check. I would say go enjoy the rest of your day, but you're gonna have to enjoy it inside. It looks like, which is fine. We're lucky. We're lucky to have a roof over our head. It's nasty out there. Mike Wallace, appreciate you being here.
Hey, anytime, man. Thank you.
We come back. Conor McGregor says not so fast. Dana White, because Dana White last night said Conor McGregor not fighting again until at least 2025. Conor McGregor says he wants to fight in December. We'll see how this thing gets ironed out. I asked Bennett what he thinks next. Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South.
They needed size. They needed shooting. What were your initial thoughts on how this class turned out for the Grizzlies?
Analytically looking at it, you had to have a big man, and they got the best big man that was left on the board.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Looking at the college football playoff and the odds to make the college football playoff, this is the top 13 teams. 7 of these 13 are out of the SEC.
I think that first year in the SEC is going to be different. I do. I just think it's going to be different.
The Odds Couple with Rob Fisher, Lang Whitaker, John Roser, and CJ Hurt live Thursdays at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
I saw the Drew Hill story. Y'all rode together in the car, and you put the seat back.
Yeah, I put the seat all the way back, and his knees were still crunched up. And he was like, "Nah, bro, so I drive a Kia, man."
A Kia?
What?
He's 7'4", yo.
Yeah, I don't know how he does.
He got the seats removed.
Somehow.
The Chris Vernon Show, live weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Hey Grizzlies fans, turn your stadium excitement into betting action at Southland Casino Hotel. As a proud sponsor of the Memphis Grizzlies, Southland brings you more gaming action than ever before. Step onto our massive casino floor stretching more than 2.5 football fields. Slot enthusiasts can enjoy more than 2,300 machines from penny slots to high limits and play the hottest games like Aristocrat, Dollar Storm, Cloverlink, and Lightning Cash. Table game aficionados can feel the thrill of the felt with 50 live table games. From 3-card to blackjack match, we're ready to deal you in. Plus, don't miss stadium gaming for an interactive digital experience. And for high rollers, our high limit room is calling your name. Go big on 6 high limit blackjack tables or spin one of our 54 high stakes slot machines. Throw in 8 delicious dining options and a 300-room high-rise hotel, and there's plenty to keep you going. At Southland Casino Hotel, the gaming excitement never stops.
Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Maxwell in concert. The Serenade Tour. October 16th at FedEx Forum. Maxwell. With special guest Jasmine Sullivan. And October London. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss Maxwell live.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. And that's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays, in the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
Conor McGregor says that he would like to fight again in UFC in December, but Dana White announced last night, on television no less, that he has no plans for Conor McGregor to appear in UFC again until at least 2025. Conor McGregor says one thing, Dana White says another thing. How are we going to figure this out?
Oh, I mean, I believe Dana White. Yeah.
Do you find him more trustworthy?
What this kind of feels like to me now is just because he hasn't fought since 2021, I don't believe, McGregor.
It's more than 3 years. He hasn't fought since July 2021.
And
was supposed to fight earlier this year, but broke his toe while training.
Yeah, it just feels like one of those things where he wants to keep the fan interest up and everything like that. I mean, be top of mind, but I don't think he's ever going to fight again.
He was spotted at a bike rally.
I saw that.
Recently?
Yeah.
Drinking?
Yeah.
And that led to speculation that he ain't taking things so seriously. You should be in the gym, not out drinking. It suggests he's not taking things seriously.
He wouldn't be the only UFC fighter that enjoys a drink. I don't think that's...
I've seen some fellas smoke in a cage before.
Yeah, man. Like, I'm not... I think that's considered acceptable behavior.
Help me understand Conor McGregor.
Yes.
I am not what you would consider a UFC fan. I don't buy the pay-per-views. I don't know who the champions are. I know some of the names. On the other hand...
You know him.
I know him.
Yep.
I bought all those pay-per-views, and they were a blast.
Yeah.
All right? He hadn't fought in 3 years. It's a long time.
Right.
He's also older now.
Yes.
And, oh, by the way, been getting his ass kicked the last few times he did fight, right?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So, one of those deals, for a point of reference, Mike Tyson was the baddest man on the planet once upon a time. Got knocked out by Buster Douglas, came back from that, won a few fights, went to jail, right?
Yes.
Went to jail for 4 years. Came back and was never the same. He did regain a championship, but he was never the same. Conor McGregor is pushing towards that 4-year thing. It's been a little more than 3, but it's a long time to not be in the octagon. Do UFC fans crave this? Because every once in a while in boxing, you would hear hey, Evander Holyfield is going to fight again. And somebody would say, man, we don't need to see Evander Holyfield fight again. Enough is enough. It's over. How are UFC fans with Conor McGregor? Do you want him back in the octagon because it's Conor McGregor? Or is it like, buddy, it's over. The sport has moved on, and you can't do this anymore?
No, I think people would want him back. I think that it would be one of their biggest selling pay-per-views ever if he came back and fought, Michael Chandler.
Right. That's who he was supposed to fight earlier this year.
Yeah. But as far as him competing in the UFC for anything meaningful, no. I'm just looking at all the lightweights in the top 15. I don't think he could beat any of them right now. I mean, there's some, maybe yes, because there's some older guys. I mean, Michael Chandler's the number 6 ranked lightweight right now.
But he's also
he could beat some of these guys, I'm sure. But the guys like Makhachev, the champion, no chance.
Well, Michael Chandler's 38 years old too.
Yeah.
Like that's who you need to be messing around with. A big name who is also old.
Like competing for belts, I think he's done. Winning UFC fights, I think he can still do.
Well, then you have to be strategic about who you're fighting.
Who you're picking.
And that's what you do is you find somebody older than you who's also a big name.
Yes.
And that would be Michael Chandler.
I think so.
I don't know nothing about it. Michael Chandler might beat his brains in. I don't know anything about it. But that's the type of... I wouldn't want to be messing around with a 24-year-old who's in the top 10.
No.
So, yeah, give me the 38-year-old and I'll take my chances. For whatever it's worth, Conor McGregor, the order in which these statements were made might matter, because Dana White sparked the whole conversation by sort of volunteering that Conor McGregor is not fighting again in 2024. And very quickly, Conor McGregor jumped on social media and was like, come on, Dana, I want to fight in December. Put me on the card. And every other UFC card through November, they're already the main event set.
Right.
December's still open. If Dana White wanted to put Conor McGregor in the main event in December and they could make a match, Conor McGregor says that's what he wants to do. Does that move? Maybe Dana White was just like, listen, it's Conor McGregor. We've been talking about this for 3 years now. He ain't fighting again this year. Don't worry about it. And Conor McGregor's like, whoa, bro, I will fight again. Put me on December. Does that not move Dana White to say, if you want to go in December, I'll put you on in December?
Dana White wants nothing more than to sell massive fights.
Right.
If Conor McGregor's ready to go in December, Dana White will put him on a pay-per-view in
Then
December.
let's do it.
But Dana White knows that he's not ready for it. That's why I'm saying I believe Dana White. I think that Conor McGregor, what he's doing now is keeping people interested. Like, that's what he does. It's what he's good at. That's why he's one of the most famous UFC fighters, if not the most famous ever, because he's good at keeping people interested. And that's why he's doing this. If you were going to get me to bet, I would say 30% chance he fights in December.
Right.
Yeah. There's just no way. Do I think he'll fight again? Yeah, I do. Because I think, like we were talking about, he can be strategic and he can fight big names that are past their prime. Like he could do, the Mayweather Pacquiao thing or things of that nature.
I always wondered with him specifically, because he is the type, it might not, maybe you can't do this now, although I think you probably could. And there's contractual stuff. But Floyd Mayweather at one point decided, I don't work for anybody anymore. I'm putting on my own fights. And that's how he became Money Mayweather.
Yep.
He would put all the money up front to put on the fight. And then he didn't have to deal with promotion company. It was the money team.
Yeah.
McGregor was the type who could, if he could ever he could be bigger, not bigger than UFC. I don't mean that. He could fill up this arena by himself. He doesn't need UFC to fill up an arena. He could fill up an arena.
Yes.
I always wonder why he didn't do that, other than obvious contractual stuff.
Yeah, that's
just break up. Be your own brand. Be your own thing. I'm going to put on when I fight. It's just going to be about me, and we ain't cutting Dana White in on nothing and nobody else.
And don't get it twisted. Like, if he fights, I don't care who he fights. I don't care who it is. I'm going to order it. Like, I'm a big fan.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
And so
I would order
like that. Yeah,
I would only order it because I would just feel like everybody else is ordering it, and I need to watch it. Yeah. If I'm going to be able to participate in this conversation, I need to order it as well. That's how I would rationalize it, at least.
And there's still some big names in that lightweight division. Like, and older guys too. Like, there are definitely big fights to be had for Conor McGregor if he's like ready to fight again, even if it's not competing for UFC championships. Right. Yeah. So I think we'll see it. I don't think we'll see it anytime soon.
Hey, TBD.
Yeah.
It's TBD.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Juan Soto, fifth sexiest U.S. sportsman in the year 2024.
That's right. We did learn that yesterday.
According to boohooman.com.
Yeah, he must have found out too because he was feeling himself.
He looked sexy last night, didn't he?
He looked something. Yeah.
3 home runs. First 3 home run game of his career.
I'm done.
They have taken the AL East lead from your Baltimore Orioles.
I'm done.
You've got a Juan Soto problem.
I'm done.
Buddy, you've got a Juan Soto problem.
I've accepted,
and a Jazz Chisholm problem and an Aaron Judge problem.
I've accepted the wild card, and now my expectations are starting to dwindle like quite a bit. We're losing to bad teams, and I know that the record is still really, really good. It's just they're not being serious right now about winning this division.
The Mets are losing every game by touchdowns. All right? By touchdowns.
We got blasted at home by the freaking Nationals last night.
We got blasted at home by the freaking Athletics.
Yeah, dude. There is nothing grosser than the game being over in like the 3rd inning against the Nationals. I wanted to throw up. I got to watch that crap.
The Mets were down 9-1.
Yeah.
9-1.
We had similar nights.
It's tough. It's tough out there. Meanwhile, Juan Soto is awesome. 3 home runs. So he's now got 33 on the season. Aaron Judge has 42. They are on pace, Judge and Soto, to become the first 2 Yankees to both hit at least 40 home runs in the same year since Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris in 1961.
Damn. And my boy Gunnar has fallen off a cliff.
It happens.
He was right there with those guys. He's just fallen off a cliff.
It happens. Sometimes. Aaron Boone, what did you make of this quote last night? Aaron Boone, after the game, he said, he was asked about Soto. He said a bunch of stuff. But among the things he said, it's just impressive. Because, I don't know if you saw it, he home run first at bat, home run second at bat, home run. He came up with a chance to tie the record for most home runs in an MLB game. He was at the plate with a chance to get a 4th home run, and he got to a 3-0 count, and then it was ball, and he swung at it just to try to keep the at bat going, but he didn't get a good pitch to hit, so 3 home runs. Aaron Boone said it's just impressive. He waited till he got a pitch in each at bat and did some damage on it. He is the greatest hitter in the game. He is the greatest hitter in the game, regardless of whether that's true or not. Is that something you should be saying out loud when you also manage Aaron Judge?
Right. I think that if you're teammates, it just kind of becomes like a friendly competition a little bit. I agree with you. Like, you got some egos to work with here.
What if you were reading an interview?
Yeah.
You were reading an interview from our boss, and he was talking about producers for some reason. And he said, we got some good people here, but CJ Hurd is the best producer we got. It's not even close.
I'd be like, yeah, I agree.
You wouldn't. It wouldn't even not a hint bother you. No. I actually believe you.
Yeah.
Right. I actually believe that it wouldn't bother you. But how about this? Same boss doing an interview about host, and he says, I tell you what, we got some good people over there, but there is nobody that can host a show more effectively than Jessica Benson. How do you think Vernon feels about that?
Ooh.
You know.
I wonder.
You know.
I wonder.
You know how that would be received.
I wonder.
You don't have to wonder. You know how that would go down. You know what that would lead to. You know what that would lead to. Anarchy, right? Not everybody's as mature as you, Bennett.
I'm not that mature.
Not everybody's as mature as you. You know who's not as mature as you?
Uh-oh. Don't say it out loud.
He wouldn't be able to handle that.
Don't say it out loud.
He wouldn't be able to handle that.
I don't think he'd be able to handle it.
So can Aaron Judge? Who is Aaron Judge? Is Aaron Judge you?
I think Aaron Judge is me. I think Aaron Judge I think Aaron Judge wants to be a champion. That's what I think.
Yeah, but do you want your boss, for lack of a better word, your boss, saying, because don't you think Aaron Judge is sitting there like, I'm an MVP. I'm about to be the MVP again. I'm the AL home run king. I'm in my prime. I'm having a better season than this guy is. And you're talking about he's the greatest hitter? What? I know you wouldn't be bothered by that because you're more mature than most. Certainly more mature than, you know who. But How is Aaron Judge? That's what we got to figure out. Is Aaron Judge more like you?
Look, I'm rooting for an internal collapse. Yeah, I'm rooting for it big time.
They tried to. Remember, this is what Jason Kidd tried to do to the Celtics.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
but Joe Mazzulla didn't try to do it to the Celtics. What Aaron Boone's doing is the equivalent of if Joe Mazzulla would have said Jason Tatum is actually, or Jaylen Brown's our favorite player. What if Joe Mazzulla in the middle of the finals would have said Jaylen Brown's our best player?
Probably wouldn't have gone over well.
Right.
Probably wouldn't have gone over well.
We'll see. We'll see who Aaron Judge is. You know, take that mask off. Let us see who you are.
I just need the O's to start taking this thing seriously, dude. I understand that they have 70 wins. Like, I should be happy. I get it as like a long-suffering Orioles fan. But like, come on, man. We're in a race here. Let's take this thing seriously. Don't lose to the freaking Nationals at home.
It's down 9-1 to the Athletics.
I mean, that's disgusting too.
It's all disgusting.
Yeah, like let's take these races seriously.
It's time to start taking the races seriously.
Yeah, as seriously as I'm taking it.
Dude, I'm tired of losing. God.
Number 3.
Got a new TikTok trend going viral. You seen this one?
No. I can't believe you don't remember the milk crate challenge.
I can't believe you don't remember the Big Bank challenge.
Dude, what was that? The ass shaking challenge?
Yeah, the girls they got a pretty face and a small waist and then a big bank.
I remember
and they
that.
would flip around. They would show you their bank. And if I'm being completely honest, I enjoyed the comments.
Yes.
More than I enjoyed just the Big Bank challenge. I mean, I can appreciate a bank of all sizes. I appreciate banks of all sizes. But my favorite was when a little girl. Not a little girl. I ain't Drake. When
I was gonna say, careful.
A woman. I ain't Drake. You think I'm Drake? A woman would she'd say, pretty face, small waist, and then she'd flip around and she'd be like in a big bank. I don't remember the exact words, but it's something along those lines. And it wouldn't be the biggest bank you ever seen,
Oh, and so then the comments.
The comments were always excellent. It'd be like. The comments were always great because if it was a great bank, somebody would be like, I want to make a direct deposit. Okay, you get that.
Yeah.
So that would make me laugh because I'm stupid. And then every once in a while, it'd be like a not so great bank. And it'd be like, your bank is broke. Did your bank get robbed? It looks like your bank got robbed. And so the comments were I really enjoyed it. Man, it's been a minute since I've seen the Big Bank. Did they just wipe them off of everything?
I don't know, man.
I ain't seen a Big Bank challenge in a minute.
I've seen people revisiting the milk crate challenge.
What is the milk crate challenge?
Dude,
I'm gonna Google Big Bank challenge. I hope I don't go to jail for this.
It was when people stacked the milk crates up like a staircase, and you had to walk up to the top of it and then walk down, and everyone just fell off and like injured themselves. Like nobody ever completed the milk crate challenge. I think like maybe 2 people did.
Well, what?
But it was really just videos of these people climbing up to the top of a stack of milk crates and then realizing, I can't get down. Now I'm going to fall and like break my arm.
And you'd rather watch that than banks.
Well, because that's like one of those where it's like, well, you dug your own grave. Like I can make fun of you because you really didn't realize you're going to get to the top of these milk crates and not know what to do, and you're just going to fall down and hurt yourself. That was fun.
No, I prefer the Big Bank challenge. I prefer the Big Bank challenge.
Okay. I prefer the milk crate challenge.
To each his own.
Bring it back.
But just Google Big Bank TikTok challenge and then just.
Okay.
That's a good way to spend a day.
What's this new challenge?
Okay. This is called Candy Grapes.
Look, here it is.
What?
See?
No!
See? Like they get to the top and then they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, that's easy. Yeah, let me
That's
just get
easy.
to the top of it. Oh, wait.
Oh, well, why
okay,
does
he did that on purpose.
Yeah, that was
like that man
I felt
injured
like that
himself
was
for likes. That's insane.
All right, Kyra, get me a Big Bank challenge and let's put it up for a vote. Let's let the people decide what they want to watch. Let's let the people decide if they want to watch the milk crate challenge or the Big Bank challenge. I think it's the Big Bank challenge.
I never partook in either, just for what it's worth.
I'm gonna show you some.
Okay.
I'm gonna show you some. So this is candy grapes. You familiar with candy grapes? So it's a little recipe going viral on TikTok. And what you do is you take Jolly Ranchers. You know Jolly Ranchers?
Yeah.
Okay. You put them in a bowl.
Okay.
Plastic bowl, preferably, I think. I don't really know. And you put them in the microwave and you melt the Jolly Ranchers. All right? You melt them down to a liquid lava. And then you're going to pour them over grapes. And now you have candy grapes. All right? So it's a nice little activity for parents to do with their children. You want to make some candy grapes? We saw it on TikTok.
That sounds really gross, by the way. Like, that sounds disgusting.
Well, what do you want? You want these moms to be doing big bank challenges with their kids? Is that what you're after?
No, I'm just saying, think of a better snack. That's weird.
Just make some s'mores.
Melting Jolly Ranchers over grapes?
Okay.
That's weird.
Now, let me
Yeah.
tell you what's happening all over the country.
Yeah.
It
sounds dangerous.
It's a crisis.
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you what's happening.
People's microwaves are blowing up.
No, but people's Jolly Ranchers are melting. It takes a minute to melt a bunch of Jolly Ranchers.
I was gonna say, I bet it takes a second to melt one of those.
Yeah, you can't do that. That ain't a. All right.
Yeah.
So then, what you got? A 7-year-old standing on a step stool, on the microwave, getting his or hers bowl of melted Jolly Ranchers out,
and it is lava. Once it comes out,
and then you just
spill your bowl.
Now it's on your hands,
and it's drying up like lava. Yeah.
Severe burns. Have to go to the hospital.
I'm sure.
A mom said that your instincts are to just get this off your kid.
Yeah.
Well, now, but it's already. She was taking skin off of her child.
Yeah.
It's borderline child abuse.
It's hardened. Like it's like when lava hits water or something.
It's a lot like lava hitting water.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know. Be careful. That's what I'm trying to tell you. This TikTok looks dangerous.
Sounds dangerous.
You got people falling off of milk crates. You got lava, Jolly Ranchers.
We're using Jolly Ranchers for the wrong things.
What should you use Jolly Ranchers for?
Well, I mean,
isn't there like a drug thing people used to do?
Say,
what was the drug thing people would do with Jolly Ranchers?
They're an ingredient in a famous drink.
What was the drug thing? Like if somebody wanted to offer you a Jolly Rancher, what drug were you on back in the day?
Well, I don't think it wasn't a drug. It was. I mean, I don't want to necessarily like give out.
I for some reason attach Jolly Ranchers to illegal drug use.
I don't know if I should give out the recipe.
Give me the recipe. Give me the recipe for. What are we doing with Jolly Ranchers? How are we getting high with Jolly Ranchers?
I mean, well,
help me.
You've heard of like lean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like you drop some once you make the concoction, you drop some Jolly
You
Ranchers
make lean
in there.
yourself?
I've never one time. I'm just saying. Shut up, Jalen.
It's on the syrup.
No, I'm just saying.
I didn't know you were on the syrup.
I'm just saying, like when people.
I didn't know you rocked like that, Wayne.
The top off is you drop Jolly Ranchers in there.
How do you know so much about this?
That's how you finish making the drink.
I didn't know you was on the syrup. That's dangerous. They have to take Wayne to the hospital like every 3 months.
I know he had a seizure. Yeah,
like every 3 months.
That stuff's dangerous.
Yeah, be careful.
Yeah,
buddy. Calm down.
Yeah, you shouldn't be getting crazy off medicine.
What you running from?
That's a rule of thumb.
What are you running from?
Don't get high off medicine. That's just you shouldn't be doing that.
I got high off medicine one time.
I know you did. You shouldn't be doing that.
I didn't mean to. It was an accidental. I accidentally almost overdosed.
Oh yeah, you just went straight to the source. You didn't make the concoction.
I drink mine straight.
Yeah.
No, there was one time I had a cough, like a normal cough, and it just wasn't getting any better. And I don't know if you know this about me, but I talk for a living.
Yes.
So when you're constantly coughing, it ain't good for business. So I was like, I've got to get rid of this cough.
Yeah.
And Kelly was like, there's cough syrup. There's prescription cough syrup in the cabinet. So I just grabbed something that looked like prescription cough syrup and I drank like half the bottle. All right. I was just trying to stop coughing.
Yeah.
And after some period of time, I was just sitting upstairs and I was like, I am high.
Yeah.
And so I went back downstairs and I was like, Kelly, Google how much cough syrup you got to drink to get this high? Because I'm super high right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like sweating. And she was like, what did you do? And I was like, I just grabbed but she's like, bring me the bottle. And I went and grabbed the bottle. I was like, I drank like half this bottle.
Man.
It was for like Aiden when he had some surgery. It was liquid painkiller so that he wouldn't have to take pills. It was liquid painkiller for a child. So I just drank half a bottle of pain medicine.
Yeah.
Buddy, I was floating. I felt good.
I bet. Imagine if he had some Sprite and some Jolly Ranchers to go with it. You'd be doing great.
And here's how I know this is how people get addicted to stuff. Like 2 days later, I wanted to do it again.
Yeah, dude.
I was like,
prescriptions ain't no joke.
I poured it out.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm going to keep doing this if it's here.
This is awesome.
This is awesome.
That's how it starts.
That's how it starts.
Yeah, that's it, kids. There's your lesson for the day.
Kodak Black got in trouble for this last week. Did you see this?
I did see that. Actually, okay, can I be honest?
Be honest.
Like, I saw that clip, and it doesn't play well. I was like, yeah, it makes all the sense.
It's actually honest.
Everything that he said makes complete sense.
It's an honest assessment of the situation.
Yes.
Even though maybe you're not supposed to say it to a group of kids.
You can't say it out loud. Right.
It's like, by the way, who decides it's a good idea for Kodak Black to be speaking to our children? All right. Have you Googled Kodak Black?
He's definitely had some issues.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't even want my kids listening to Kodak Black.
Right.
That's not true. I like Kodak Black. But he's kind of a wild fella. You can Google it, right? Anyway, he's out there talking to like a 7-year-old football team. And he tells them, y'all stay off the drugs because they're good and you'll like them.
Yep.
So you just got to stay away from them. Which is, it's
a fair point.
He's making decent points. Like, you can nitpick his approach if you want to, but are his words valid? His words are valid. That's the problem with drugs, is that they are.
Yeah.
They can be.
This challenge, though, is not drug related. This is
all
people being stupid with Jolly Ranchers.
Yeah. And they're like severe burns. So be careful out there.
Dangerous candy, Jolly Ranchers. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
My kid, we went to the Monster Golf thing the other day, and he got some Jolly Ranchers out of the machine or something.
Probably because he's probably got a lean problem.
No, he didn't realize, like, I was like, he's like, can I have this? Yeah, sure. And then he's like making a face at me in the backseat. I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, what do I do? And I'm like, well, bro, he like was like trying to like chew it. I'm like, no, dude, you gotta like, you just had to spit it out in a napkin.
You gotta learn, as you know. Kids got to learn that on their own.
Yeah.
You know, kids got to learn that at their own rate. So anyway, just be careful with Jolly Ranchers. It sounds like they're involved in a lot of bad stuff. I'm not blaming Jolly Ranchers.
No, Jolly Ranchers are great.
I'm not blaming Jolly Ranchers, but
like if we had Jolly Ranchers right now, I'd enjoy Jolly Rancher.
But it feels like they're getting involved in a lot of bad stuff.
Yeah,
Jolly Ranchers need to.
They have been. Yeah, they didn't ask for this.
They're involved in a lot of bad stuff.
Jolly Ranchers didn't ask for this.
They probably didn't ask for this.
Number 4.
Jim Harbaugh says he's not going to be the honorary captain anymore for Michigan's season opener. Says he just can't.
I'm shocked.
Says he wants to be he wants to stay focused on the Chargers, on the task at hand.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, here's the problem when people do stuff like this, and I don't even care, but just tell the truth. How about just say I'd rather?
Hey, with everything going on,
I think I'd be a distraction. I'd rather not be there. Just say that. All right. I've decided I need to be focused on the Chargers. When you agreed to do this, you were the Chargers head coach. There was a point in your life not too long ago where you didn't think it would be a big deal to fly to Michigan for a day to be honored and celebrate a national championship. Not a big deal. You knew that. Everybody knew that. So what changed?
The school got in trouble.
Yeah, they got in trouble.
You got in trouble.
You got to show cause, and your program has been shown to have cheated its way to a national title. And he still hasn't answered questions really about it.
Right.
You go back to Michigan, what's going to happen?
Mr. Harbaugh.
Yeah, Coach Harbaugh. Coach Harbaugh, what do you have to say about the NCAA? Coach Harbaugh, how did you've continued to insist you didn't know this stuff was going on. How is that even possible? You don't have to, the best way not to have to answer those questions? Don't go there.
Right.
Don't go there so that they can ask you those questions. So that's the real motivation. And I understand it completely. If I were advising him, I would probably advise him not to go. But I'm always more appreciative when people can tell the truth about stuff like that. The reason I'm not going is, you probably know why I'm not going. Things have changed since I initially agreed to go, and I feel like I'd be a distraction if I were there. I should let them have that day, and I'll just stay here and be focused on my new job.
Yeah.
That's fine. But to act like suddenly you don't have time for it, come on. You could make time for it. You're just choosing not to.
Yeah.
I don't mind it, but tell the truth. But maybe that's how you end up in all this trouble, because he struggles telling the truth.
I agree.
Jolly Ranchers are dangerous,
5.
man.
Oh, yes.
Hey, tonight on ESPN,
Yep.
Can I interest you in Rhythm Masters, a Mickey Hart experience? You sent this to me.
You sure can.
Tell me about it.
Speaking of getting high.
Bennett, you're going to have a night tonight. How high are you going to get tonight?
I'm kidding.
No,
I ran out of Jolly Ranchers. I don't have anything.
We can get you something. It's early. It's early in the day. It ain't even noon yet. We get you whatever. I get you whatever you want by 3 o'clock probably.
No, this is cool.
What do you want?
This is.
What do you want?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. I've got plenty. This is. I didn't even know about this. Like it just kind of popped up out of nowhere. I saw your friend Wright Thompson post about it. And he's involved with this, and he was on Part of My Take with those guys talking about it, and I was like, "Whoa, what is this?" And so, apparently, Mickey Hart, who's drummer for the Grateful Dead, and now Dead and Company, I guess it's kind of the description's kind of vague as far as what exactly is this, but it's basically explaining how the rhythm of sports and music combine to make this special magic.
So let me tell you how. So
I'm intrigued though.
Okay, it's tonight, 8 o'clock on ESPN.
Yeah, there's some big names involved with it.
I'm gonna watch it.
I will definitely be watching.
So a few months ago, we were down in Oxford for baseball, and Wright and I are buddies, going back to college. And our wives have become buddies, Kelly and Sonia. And then we've got other friends down there. And Wright and Sonia were having people over, just like, I think it was Double Decker Festival maybe. And so it was after Double Decker, just sit on the front porch. It's nice down there.
Yeah.
So we went over to Wright's and we sat on the front porch. And, you just get to talking. It's like, so what are you up to when you're back on the road? And he was like, I got to fly to Bristol tomorrow. I said, what for? And they were previewing this film for ESPN employees
that's cool.
The next day, right? So I'm like, what is it again? Because he explains it, and I'm like, all right, now what is it again?
Yeah.
Because it's obviously an unusual concept. You might need to be high. We might need to get high. So here's the root of it. Best I can remember from Wright's porch. Basically, somebody just was like, hey, Mickey Hart? And he was like, yeah. He's like, would you be interested in doing something with him? He's like, sure.
Of course, yeah.
And then it was like,
because I know he's a big Grateful Dead fan. He was at the Sphere posting pictures.
He's just really into music, and like he's just Wright's a brilliant guy.
I'm a big fan.
In addition to like being immensely talented, he's just curious and thoughtful and he's just a really smart. Like you feel dumb just around him. Small example of that. Diana, our exchange student from Germany, she came back to visit us after she left. She's been back a few times, but this one specific time she came back, and while she was here, I want to say Bob Dylan was playing at AutoZone Park.
I was there.
Okay. Was it Bob Dylan and Wilco?
And My Morning Jacket.
Okay, yeah. All right. Fun show.
What the hell? Why did they quit doing concerts? That was a great concert. Why was it? I mean, Bob Dylan was whatever. But
it's still Bob Dylan.
It's Bob Dylan. Yeah.
I hear what you're saying.
But it's a cool setup, though. I don't know why AutoZone Park quit doing concerts.
It was a great summer night.
It was like a one-off, yeah.
Yeah, like I remember taking Aiden, not because Aiden was into Bob Dylan, but because I wanted him to at least
see a legend.
Like, that's Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, look, that's Bob Dylan. So anyway, Diana's there with us, and Wright was there, and Wright texts me. He's like, hey, we got a box. Come up to the box. We go up to the box. And I introduced him to Diana, and she was like, yeah, and he's like, so where are you from? She was like, Berlin. And he immediately launched into a very detailed conversation about Germany's upcoming elections and the different parties and the way that they do it. And she was like, she had never met an American who could talk to her about her country in this way. And here's the thing the point I'm making. I could have introduced him to Sylvia from Italy or anybody from anywhere, and he would have been able to do something similar. He's just a smart guy. So anyway, the root of this is, I believe it was just like, why don't you go spend some time with Mickey, and you guys just figure out something you can do and do it. This is what they came up with. But it was really just, they didn't really even have an idea of what they were going to do. It was just like, hey, you two people are interesting and smart and creative. Get together and create something. And this is what they've created. We're going to watch it tonight.
I'm going to watch it. I'm excited.
You should get your syrup out for this.
I don't have any syrup.
Oh,
but
man.
I'll be just fine.
Yeah.
No, it looks cool. I'm interested to see what it's like. I saw that like Marshawn Lynch is involved in it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's my very surface level understanding of it is it's the way sounds can I'm gonna bomb this even trying to, but the rhythm within music is often like the rhythm within athletics, and sometimes they go hand in hand. I wish I could delete all that. Just watch it. I bet it's you read it. Read something. Read me something, Bennett.
So this is going to feature stories from legendary athletes sharing their personal insights and experiences on how sports and music share a universal language. It celebrates the artistry behind these two worlds, showcasing how they mutually inspire and elevate each other. The striking visuals and soundtrack both work to illustrate the pulse and energy that music brings to sports and vice versa.
See, that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say. So 8 o'clock.
And this is a big tribute to Bill Walton, apparently.
It's dedicated to Bill Walton.
They were like really close friends, him and Mickey.
Yeah, and Bill I know Wright spent time with Bill too before he passed, and that was Bill was involved in this on some level as well, I believe. So anyway, it's I bet it'll be a fun watch. I can't wait. 8 o'clock tonight. It's on ESPN. Be back with GP's Carryout.
We have two pairs of shoes that literally are not released to the public right now, and we're going to give you a live look.
First look in hand of the Armor Year 3.
Look at that leather.
Leather is super nice on this here. I actually tried to cheat this into my top 10 so far, but Kelsey said I could. These have yet to be seen. These are the Armor Year 4s. These are called Phantom. I'm sorry, these are called Phantom.
The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Scottie Pippen Jr. so clearly should have been the MVP. Led the Memphis Grizzlies to a 5-0 record going into the championship game. Led the Memphis Grizzlies to the championship game. Was first team all summer league. What was Jalen Wilson? Second team. What are we doing here? Snubbed. Capital S-N-U-B. Snubbed.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Justin Timberlake.
I'm bringing sexy back.
The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now.
So if I get jealous, I can't help it.
For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball. But the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board. A class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. We're inside the Bill Ford Tough Studio. Let's wrap this up with GP's Carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we learn today?
Whole bunch of stuff, but we mostly in the first hour focused on the FedEx St. Jude Championship, because by the time we talk tomorrow, weather permitting, We're going to have golfers on the course at a TPC Southwind. Scheduled to go bright and early tomorrow morning, Big Bet Bennett. When do you think you're going to get out there? On Sunday? Is that the plan?
We might go after school one day and enjoy the light crowd.
You like the light crowd?
Yeah, like I'm not trying to. Sunday's gonna be wild up in there.
Sunday can get wild.
Yeah,
Sunday can get wild.
I don't know if I'm ready for all that.
Oh, I think you could handle it.
I'm looking for more of like a leisurely stroll.
You just want to take a stroll.
The course.
You want to take a stroll through the course.
Yeah.
Do you like to walk through the course, or do you like to set up shop in one place and just let the golfers come to you?
I like to walk. I like to take a stroll.
I like to stroll.
Yeah,
I like walking around a golf course.
See what's going on.
Like when I play golf, I mostly get a cart, because it's the most efficient way to do it, and most people like to get in carts and drive around and listen to music and stuff.
Yeah.
But if it were really just up to me, I would like to walk. But not pushing my bag and not carrying my bag. I want somebody else to do that.
I got you.
I would like for you to carry my bag and find my ball and encourage me. But I like walking around a golf course. I just don't like carrying stuff.
Yeah, I got you.
But I enjoy the walk. I like getting my steps in.
Yeah.
You want to get your steps in out there.
Yeah, I want to get my steps in. I want to go check it all out. So we might go tomorrow.
What I found to be true with young children is they like to run around, get their popsicles. But then if you just start making them walk with a golfer, it backfires on you.
Yeah.
At some point, you got to say, we're going to set up shop right here and watch the golfers come to us as opposed to walking this course.
Yep.
Kids get tired of walking sometimes.
Yeah, they do.
Lazy.
Trust me, I know.
Little kids are lazy. Carry me.
Yeah.
Carry you. You're 7.
Yeah.
All right, walk. It's time to walk. Or I'll put you in a stroller. Maybe you should take a stroller out there.
Nah, I think my dude will be all right.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm leaving the baby at home. He ain't going.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
Yeah.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
What's today's biggest game?
Should we go Dodgers Brewers again? It's MLB Network, so it's available to watch.
I don't even know what happened yesterday.
You lost. You said the Brewers lost last night. There's no way they'll lose again. And then they did. They lost again. Good job.
Dang it.
Yeah. You said, I bet they...
I thought you were wrong there for a second. Okay.
You were wrong there for a second.
So we're doing that again?
I think so.
All right. Well, third time's a charm.
Third time's a charm. Tonight we got Walker Buehler. He's falling. Here's going to be the problem with the Dodgers, I think. Obviously, Shohei, Mookie, Freddie Freeman. Lineup stacked. Walker Buehler ain't Walker Buehler anymore. Clayton Kershaw ain't Clayton Kershaw anymore. Who are you scared of?
It's a good point.
It is a good point.
Yep. No, I'll take the Brewers. Are they favored tonight?
No. Dodgers minus 120.
Yeah, give me the Brewers.
Brewers are even money again.
Yeah, give me the Brewers.
Milwaukee at even money. It worked so well for you last night. Might as well try it again. Your record now is 139 and 4. You're 500. Negative 15 units. 15.0. You need to win tonight to stay. If you don't win tonight, you're below 500. And that messes with you mentally. It's only one game worse than what you are right now, but right now you can look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm not below 500. But if you lose tonight, you will not be able to wake up tomorrow and say that.
Yeah, give me the Brewers.
Bennett says take the Brewers at even money. All right, we'll see.
What are we watching on TV?
Can I interest you in Bad Monkey?
Bad Monkey.
Bad Monkey.
What is that?
Brand new show. Dropped in today. Not surprised you haven't heard of it, because it's on Apple TV Plus.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
It's described as a dark comedy, and it stars the legend Vince Vaughn. I thought the name Vince Vaughn would move you more than it did.
It does.
You don't
not.
He's not a legend to you?
I mean, I respect, obviously, but I'm not like
it's Star Swingers.
I understand. I'm not just some big fan.
You didn't love Swingers?
I like Swingers. Yeah, it's good.
Isn't it weird that a movie called Swingers isn't about swingers?
Right.
Shouldn't it be about swingers?
Well, yeah, maybe so.
You hear about that show they got coming to Hulu next month about the Utah Swingers?
Oh, I saw the commercial for that. Yeah.
I think I'm fired up about that.
It's wild. Yeah, they get wild.
All these Utah
people.
They
get wild.
I like it.
Because they got to have a vice.
Got to do something.
Yeah, no alcohol, caffeine. So, like, what's your vice? Oh, we're swingers.
We're gonna bang each other's
right.
wives and husbands. I guess that's what we're gonna do. You know that story? I'm fascinated by that story. I love that story.
Yeah, I kind of know.
Bunch of husbands, bunch of wives.
Yeah, it was like a TikTok star. Yeah.
Well, like this woman. They were all, they had their little rules.
Yeah.
Like, you can mess around, but then you can't be doing this and that and whatever.
Right.
Well, then they decided to do that.
Yeah.
It always leads to that, I would assume.
Sure.
And then, like, somebody said enough's enough, and they said, I want a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
It was fine when you were just making out with the fellow over here when I was watching you, but you can't do it in the other room or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. And so they got it. And then this woman, she jumps on TikTok or something, and she just tells the whole story.
Tells the world.
Like,
when's that drop?
And then now they got a reality show out of it, and it's coming next month, I think.
I'll check that out.
The Mormon community is upset about it because they
I bet they are.
They believe it paints them in an unfair light.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they got bigger things to worry about.
Sure.
If they're worried about the perception of them, they got bigger things to worry about, I think, than a little Hulu reality show. But this one tonight, this one's called Bad Monkey. It stars Vince Vaughn.
Okay.
He's a star of swing. What do you have against Vince Vaughn?
I'm just not. I don't know.
Tell me what you have against Vince Vaughn. What did Vince Vaughn ever do to you?
No, I don't have anything against him. I'm just not like the biggest fan.
This man was in Wedding Crashers.
Overrated.
You
overrated.
It looks like you got something you want to get off your chest.
It's a fine movie.
Wedding Crashers.
It's fine.
Everybody loves it.
Everybody like holds it up as like,
one of the great
the
comedies.
holy grail of comedy.
You say no.
No. It's fine.
You're anti Vince Vaughn. I didn't know this about you.
I'm not anti. I'm just not like seeking.
What about when he
out.
starred in the HBO series True Detective? He
Was
did a
he
season.
in season 2?
I think season 2.
Was it him and Colin Farrell? That's like the universally worst season.
What are you?
I didn't hate it, but like nobody liked that season.
What did Vince Vaughn do to you?
Nothing. I just like.
Okay,
He's all right.
Can I tell you about it? And then
Yeah.
maybe
What's
I can
going
peek
on?
your.
What's
I'm
going on?
gonna watch this.
Let me hear it.
I'm gonna support Vince Vaughn. He was a big part of my college years. I'm not gonna turn my back on him now.
Okay.
Vince Vaughn was there.
No, I liked him too.
Vince Vaughn was there when I needed him in college.
I liked him.
Vince Vaughn was there when I needed him in college.
Yep.
You think I'm gonna turn my back on him now?
I would hope not.
That's not who I am. That's not my character. That's not my character to turn my back on him now. Here's what Bad Monkey's about. Here's the description.
Okay.
Hopefully this goes better than the Mickey Hart description.
Okay, yeah.
Andrew Yancey is a former police detective who has been reduced to conducting restaurant inspections in southern Florida. A severed arm found by a tourist pulls Yancey into the world of greed and corruption that decimates the land and environment in both Florida and the Bahamas.
So it's a comedy.
Dark comedy.
Dark comedy.
That usually means it's uncomfortable but funny.
Which I like. I like a good dark comedy.
I like to be uncomfortable.
You let me know.
The reviews are pretty good so far.
Can I be honest with you?
I mean, what else?
I finished that Presumed Innocent
You didn't
show.
like it? You don't like
Awful. The finale sucked. I did not. It started off. The first episode was really good, and it just got worse to me. I did not like it.
The chat says, okay, I'm only like 5 minutes into Presumed Innocent, so I could never make it past the first 5 minutes. So you think I need to not do that?
I mean,
But Jessica says I should do that. I respect
we felt
her.
like it was a chore trying to get through the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The chat says Vince Vaughn. They say he's a Trumper.
Mm-hmm.
Is that why you hate him?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
No.
Is he, though? Is he?
I don't know.
Are we labeling Vince Vaughn like that? Is he?
I had no clue.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It's fine.
I don't care.
Yeah, it's none of my business.
Yeah.
I don't think it's none of my business. I'm not going to turn my back on him. He was there when I needed him in college. I'm not going to turn my back on him now.
As you shouldn't.
Yeah, that's not who I am. That's not my character.
I'm not sitting here trying to think of like a Vince Vaughn role that I love, and I cannot think of one.
Well, he was in that comedy with Jennifer Aniston.
Where they like broke up but lived together.
Yeah. Dodgeball. Bennett.
Does that movie hold up?
I mean, I don't know.
I haven't seen it in forever.
Bennett is like, you're really hard on.
I know. I'm fine. Like, I like him.
Okay. Swingers was 1996.
Yeah, and Made, I believe, was around the same time.
Okay, let's just go through it. Let's see. I want to hear you give proper credit to Vince Vaughn.
Okay.
Before we get out of here.
Okay.
All right. You just tell me when I hit on one you can appreciate. Swingers. That seems crazy to me, but whatever. Clay pigeons.
I don't know.
Psycho.
The remake, no.
Made, 2001.
I remember liking it, but I don't remember it.
Okay. Old School.
That's a pretty good one. Although when I think of that movie, I think more of like Will Ferrell. I wouldn't have even remembered that he was in that if you wouldn't have said something.
Starsky and Hutch.
No. Keep going.
I'm trying. He was in Mr. and Mrs. Smith?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Don't remember that. Fred Claus.
No.
The Watch.
No.
The Internship.
No. Keep going. You're learning something.
The Binge.
Nah.
It's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go to TV though.
That was all the movies you got?
Oh, he was in Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah, he was.
Yes.
He was the final season, right?
He was in 11 episodes. He was in True Detective.
Mm-hmm. The worst season.
He's got some big ones in there, though. I'm going to make you pick one of those. I mean, the guy did Hangover.
Mm-hmm.
Not The Hangover.
No, he didn't.
He did Dodgeball.
Yeah.
He did Old School.
Yeah.
And he did Swingers.
Mm-hmm.
That's enough to get you a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't know this. I didn't know you felt this way about Vince Vaughn. I didn't know this. This is not something I knew.
I'm not.
This is not what I knew. This was not. I wouldn't even have assumed this about you. I would have assumed you.
It's no offense.
I would have assumed you love Vince Vaughn. I think.
I like him.
It doesn't sound like it. It does not sound like it. It does not sound like it.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, Bad Monkey, I'm going to watch it.
Okay.
It dropped on Apple TV Plus today. I'm going to watch it.
All right, cool.
Let
me know how it is.
I will.
What's the best thing we've read?
I was going to tell you about the can of coaches, but I think I did that yesterday. Cooper Flagg was voted the best player in college basketball this upcoming season. Can I give you the rest of it?
Yeah.
Mark Sears got the second most votes, 22% of the vote. The question we asked 100 college coaches, who will be the best player in college basketball this season? Cooper Flagg led it with 36% of the vote. Mark Sears got 22%. Hunter Dickinson at Kansas, 16%. Then R.J. Davis at North Carolina, 15%. Others receiving votes, among them, Janai Broome at Auburn, Ryan Kalkbrenner at Creighton. Matt Norlander wrote it. I contributed to it. You can find it right now, cbssports.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow's Thursday. It's round 1 of the FedEx St. Jude Championship.
Yep.
Let's get this rain out of the way. And let's dry the course up.
I thought I heard in the rain, good for the greens.
Oh, yeah, softens them up a little bit.
It softens the greens.
Oh, then you can
so
go.
So we're going to have some high-level golf this week, is what you're telling me.
Bennett. Oh, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you enjoy pin hunting?
What's that mean?
You can hunt pins.
I don't know what that means.
The pin is the flag.
Yeah?
You can hunt them when these greens are soft.
Oh, okay.
Say, Bennett, when the greens are dry,
I got you.
It can be very tough to land them on these greens.
Mm-hmm.
But when they soften up a little bit, that's when you can go pin hunting.
Mm-hmm.
You're just going to stick them right next to the pin. They're going to be pin hunting.
Should we? Because it's going to be underway when we're on tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Should we pick our favorites?
Let's pick them right now.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Bennett. Pick something.
Give me Colin Morikawa.
Okay.
Give me Colin Morikawa. That's my guy.
That's your guy.
I always roll with him.
I'd have never guessed you like Colin Morikawa more than you like Vince Vaughn.
He's been good to me. Yeah.
I'd have never assumed that.
Yeah, I'm going to go Colin Morikawa.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to go Scotty Scheffler.
Okay. That's BS. I saw Drew said he's got his gold medal with him.
Does he?
Yeah.
I wish I had a gold medal.
I wish I had a gold medal too.
Would that be fun?
Yeah.
I'd carry it around with me too.
Go to public appearances.
Yeah.
Let people take pictures with it.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, that's what I would do with my gold medal.
Me too.
I never won one, though. Never even tried.
No.
I never even tried. Never
I
even
never
attempted.
did either.
Never even attempted.
Feels like something I probably should have chased.
We didn't chase the right stuff.
Mm-mm.
I know what you were chasing.
Mm-hmm.
Sippy, sippy, sippy.
And then Jolly Ranchers.
You was wild. I saw in the chat they asked about dropping Jolly Ranchers and Zimas back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Were you too young for a Zima? Do you ever have a Zima?
What was that? It was like a clear, sparkly drink.
Yeah.
It was alcoholic beverage, right?
Oh yeah.
So
Oh,
it
yeah.
was like
That's the best.
it was like seltzers before seltzers.
Oh, buddy, if you were 15, there ain't nothing you'd rather have than a nice Zima.
Zima.
You drop a Jolly Rancher in it, but I was
You
more.
did not. You put Jolly Ranchers in the Zima?
I mean, probably.
Yeah.
Probably. But I think we always went with, I think the recipe of choice back then, it was grenadine. Is that a real thing?
What is grenadine?
What is grenadine? I don't know. It's just a word I know. I don't know what it is, though. Grenadine. Yeah, it's like a little thing. It's like a little liquid. Grenadine. We would put
alcohol?
I don't know. We'd put grenadine in our Zimas. That's a good way to get blacked out when you're 15.
I was going to say, that sounds weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out Zima.
Shout out Zima.
Man, they were ahead of their time. If they maybe would have launched like now, they'd probably have some longevity.
Ahead of their time.
Yeah.
Just like Jimmer.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Just like Jimmer.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Bennett's got Kyle. I'm going with Scotty Scheffler. First round gets underway tomorrow morning.
Let's go.
Weather permitting. I can't wait. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll enjoy mine. Meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good, rep your hood.